completely forgot to start recording. So I'm recording now. Do I think the Halloween and Christmas update will be of good quality like the summer update? Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Right away, colors are way too bright. Someone said toothpaste, and yeah, I agree. So, main problem is you've used fully flat saturated white, and that looks absolutely terrible. You don't see flat white, you don't see flat black in TF2, you don't see hypersaturated flat colors in the game, and they just look terrible. You need to mute the colors down, and you need to give it some of that painterly texture to help break it up with those subtle gradients. It will look a whole hell of a lot better. Desaturate both of these colors by a significant amount. I would highly advise against going with this type of green. It's close to like medkit green, so it kind of works, but you need to desaturate it a little bit, make it a little bit more pastel-y, pull it back into like, you know, TF2's color palette. And the thing, you know what? I actually kind of like the lightning strikes on this. However, you need to fill it out a little bit because it's just this main shape repeated in a grid pattern. You need to fill in these gaps because you get gaps like this on the weapon models that look really bad. So if you like fleshed it out a little bit more, okay, so I'm gonna use a very unexpected example. I'm gonna use an unexpected example because I like this texture on this war paint. I like where it was going initially, but then they just completely took a hot shit all over it. All right, I'm talking about Sweet Tooths. So this war paint is hot fucking garbage. Don't get me wrong. But if you look at the secondary texture, this secondary texture kind of has like that same wispy kind of a stripe. It's not, you know, just vertical stripes repeating, you know, they're curved and a bit wavy, right? It's like a nice slight element bit of randomness that could work. So like if they had spaced out those stripes, right? Like how they have here, but they're a repeating element, then that might look better. So maybe attempt something like that. After you desaturate the white on that, then you might be getting somewhere. This texture here with like the waves on it, it works. May not need to change that. Again, you might need to break it up with like that painterly kind of, you know, thing. Then it might help. Still shitting on war paints? Absolutely. If you want me to shit on your war paint, send it my way. But beyond that, yeah, I think if you incorporate those changes, this will improve significantly. Yeah. And then go from there. Saw that again. So please, okay, so for those of you posting shit in the workshop chat in my Discord, please only send links once, because I'm going down in chronological order. So if you send it 5 times, I'm gonna click the same link 5 times. Don't do that. You know what? It's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. You can tell right away that they did a couple of things right. The colors are muted. They're not hypersaturated. These mesh reasonably well into the game's art style. They have that kind of painterly style where the weapon looks like it's been painted. It's broken up by those subtle gradients, right? It's in TF2's painterly style. So that's another you know, checkbox ticked off. The line work and shapes aren't so small that it gets too noisy. That works too. It needs something to break it up. Dual tone texture work like this is probably, I guess you call it too simple. It needs a tertiary. It needs something else. I think it needs a darker element to kind of tune down the brightness of it. Maybe black. Maybe a black tertiary on like some of the embellished. Like if these bands were black, maybe. You could use a different base. Like if you used, say, ironwood as a base, like Ironwood Mark II, if I could find you. Like, if you used Ironwood Mark II, and you had your first 2 textures here, and then you had a third be like a darker gray, or rather have like the darker gray be the stripe texture, have the wood be the orange, and then the brass be dark gray, that could work. That could work. Beyond that, this war paint's pretty good, but it needs a tertiary. It needs a tertiary color. And it will be just fine. $2 from Mar. CP Orange? Yes, indeed. I say yes. I say yes to it. Like, do we really need more pirate shit? Does every mercenary create... Does every merc need to be a pirate? I don't know. I don't think everyone needs to be a pirate. Heavy's a pirate now. Scout is a pirate now. Demoman being a pirate is fine. Of course it's paintable. No, I'm so done with fully paintable hair. Like, no, we don't need this. No, this is not already in game. This cosmetic is. Like this one is, but not this hair. Not the hair. We don't have this one. As you can see, it's not been accepted in the game. No. Okay, so it's Screaming Tiger except neon. Screaming Tiger except neon, and you chose, like, the worst map to showcase this on because I can barely see the effect in the video. You might have wanted to choose a darker area. I mean, the problem with this is, like, the ball is just a static shape, and then the trail is animated. That doesn't look very good. So it looks just like it just looks like two pieces of orbiting clip art around the player model. It's not great. And I suspect that the head effect is largely the same. See, like, that looks better. Like, you see how these are animated and aren't just like a piece of static, and they aren't just like a static image? That looks better. So if you could do a direct translation of this effect to that taunt effect, that would be better. So do that. The taunt effect looks terrible. The hat effect is way better. Just enlarge the hat effect, and then put it on the taunt effect, and then it won't look like shit. But I will still stand by my statement that I made in... I forget if I did it on my stream or something, but... Oh no, did I say this before? Anyway. Taunt effects were a fucking mistake. They're these huge, gaudy eyesores that have no business being in the fucking game. It's like unusuals are at least isolated to the head, but then when you have a fucking taunt effect, it's the entire player model just engulfed in neon colors, and it's just... it's too much. Yeah, it is... They are indeed a mistake, so I just... Listen... I'm not a fan of it. I think we don't need more taunt effects. We don't need more. I'm over it. It's just... But you can definitely improve the taunt effect by just enlarging this one. Because, like, what it looks like here is you maybe did that, and I can see it kind of flickering a little bit, but it looks too static. It still looks like a static PNG. And again, your showcase video doesn't do it any favors, so... Taunt effect needs work. Lethal Logger. Interesting. This is Mars' new war paint that actually looks really good. This is actually really good. Damn, dude, this is awesome. Wow. I love the plaid texture. I like the copper wearing down to an oxidized green. That looks sick. I love it. Dude, this is nice. It looks really good. There were variants of this, weren't there? You did multiple colors, yeah, so this is the default version. I like this one way more. This one's way better, because you have the gold on there that brightens it up and makes it a bit more flashy, right? Without being too gaudy, this one is way better. Like, if one was to get in the game, it should be this one. This is way better. This is phenomenal, like, yes. Like, I know you made, like, a green version for the sake of having a Halloween variant, because, yeah. But this looks awesome. This is really good work. Awesome skin. And then there was this one with an alternate version with a custom wear. Actually, I lied. I like this one more because that gold element is muted down a little bit. Or is it the same one just with custom wear? I need to go back and look at it again. Is it the same one? Just with custom wear now? I think it is the same, just with custom wear. I can't tell. But the custom wear on this one looks really, it tarnishes the metal. Looks really good. I also like this one. This one is also very nice. Would love to see it in game. The green, it's definitely the weakest, but I also like that you have the metal, like the copper, oxidizing. Skin zones are just different. I like the alternate version more. The alternate version's nicer. I like this one because, like, you have, like, the copper music, you know, wearing down... The copper music. I read music in my chat. The copper texture wearing down to oxidized copper. That's nice. It is I did notice someone say it's, like, a little too washed out, a little too muted. I somewhat agree. Maybe you could boost the saturation on the metal texture just a little bit. Boost it just a little bit. Give it some oomph. The green is fine. Like, you want to keep the green muted, so it kind of, you know, anchors the metal texture if it gets too bright. But beyond that, this one's also good. Beyond that, this like as is, this one's good. But I think just a little bit more saturation on the metal would be like awesome. Like, make it look a little more shiny. Because here, it almost looks like paper. Not quite like metal. Brighten it a little bit, give it like so it has more of that shine, then it will look nice. Yeah, it does look kind of like paper here, now that I think about it, because it's not bright enough, so. Good war paints. However, I will say this one's trash, sorry. Like, listen, Mar, I know. I know you're wanting to make something for Halloween, but... No. Like, no. Like, just the default gradient texture that you made for this one, like, this is great! As soon as you added the clip art to it, you fucked it. You didn't need to do that. This is all we need, right here. This is nice. A nice, simple gradient color with that Painterly style kind of pitted and washed, like, you know, fucked up metal with the wood. It's nice. This is good. We don't need little pumpkins and bats and a little piece of candy. No. No. No to this. Hard no to that. But an absolute yes to this. That looks nice. Final verdict. I've seen this one before. And to briefly comment again, I'm okay with it. I've also seen this one before. So I won't comment on it. I know people want me to be mad at this hat, but I'm just gonna say, stop. Like, we get it. I'm so fucking tired. I'm so fucking tired of stupid, shitty seal memes. It's just so bad. It's so bad. And of course people, I saw this one being spread around elsewhere, and of course people are like foaming at the mouth like, oh, it's the funny seal, I love the seal is so nice, yay! Yeah, I'll take castration over this hat, thank you. Just, terrible trash hat, we don't need this. Perilous Prosecutor, haha, funny Ace Attorney reference. Wait, what? Is there like a full link to this? Or is this just the cosmetic? This is old, too. This is really old. They updated it in 2021. I mean, it looks good. This is Gary's mod? Don't send me Gary's mod links. I need TF2 workshop links. Not Gary's mod shit. I just... I know this guy sent me his war paint before on this one, and this one is a bit of an improvement over the previous iteration, but man, it's just this grid texture does not... I don't think you can make it work in the game as, like, the primary thing on the forefront. It's too noisy. It's way too noisy. It looks so bad, and you did the thing that I hate with workshop showcases, where you just use a texture on the war paint as the background instead of taking screenshots from in the game and showing how it looks in game. You gotta do that. Well, I guess you did it here, but, like, this war paint looks better when there's less of the grid. And also, I don't like the green. The green is... it's just, eh. Someone says Alien Tech is better, and I will agree. Why is Alien Tech better? Let's take a look. So, Alien Tech is better because the green is heavily muted down. It's not thick, solid lines in a gridded repeating pattern, so it's not noisy, right? You have more black in the background than that green to help kind of ground it and root it and not be so in your face. And it's not full-blown saturation. This one just does indeed look better than a flat-out, simple grid pattern. It looks bad. I don't think it looks good. I don't know if you can get this concept into a position that it will look decent in-game. So I'm still gonna say no to this one. You can still try to work something with the green, but I think, and also like the sticker, you can't even see very well against the grid. It doesn't pop out at all because it just meshes together. I don't know, man. Final verdict for me on this one is no. You could do yellow. You could make it team colored like yellow and orange, or like blue and orange. That could work better, but green is just, I think, is the improper choice for this. Just don't think it looks very good. Alright. More links. Give me more. Just get a shitload of them. Will I destroy my computer's memory? We're gonna find out. And we're back. Alright, here we go. Here we go. $2. Apologies, DM Duo Link. Please don't do that. Oh, this one is hot garbage. Already voted no, so no thanks. Moving on. This one is also hot garbage because sticker bomb war paints just do not look very good in TF2. It is insanely busy. And you also have the problem where it's like this 3D shiny texture, and these types of 3D textures just do not look good in TF2. Because TF2's textures are, you know, like, everything looks like it's been painted on, right? It's 2D, and depth is largely created by the addition of subtle gradients, and not by, you know, layering 3D objects on top of each other. And that's what this looks like. And the scaling is so fucked. It's so busy. And, like, silver juxtaposed against gold looks really bad. Like, they could have done this team-colored where blue is silver and red is gold, and not have blue and gold next to each other. All of the colors themselves are fine, but this texture just will not work in TF2 at all. I could have sworn I looked at this one before. This one's familiar. But, I mean, the idea is good, but, again, sticker bomb war paints... I have yet to see a sticker bomb war paint that works really well. Actually, I lied. I remember that I've seen one that worked recently, that worked decently well. But this one ain't it. It's pretty bad, and I genuinely don't see a way to improve this main texture simply because how they've chosen to execute it. Scaling it up is not going to solve the problem. It's just... No, it's just not going to work. It's definitely not AI generated. They just took this same, like, curved ticket and then layered it on top of each other a bunch of times, and they did that twice. They took the man code ticket, they took the squad surplus ticket, and then just layered it on top of each other a whole bunch of times with shadows, and so it creates this really ugly 3D busy texture that just doesn't work very well. Hunter's Camo. Interesting. The deer head looks a little bit off. I don't think that's appropriate. I think what they should have done to kind of root it more in TF2 style is maybe do something like the Marasmus skull instead, and have that like be the hunter, like the taxidermy deer. That might be nicer. The small details like the eyes and the brow and like the stylization of the deer's head also doesn't look like TF2 style. It's like too realistic. Like it's almost too generic to be like a TF2 skin. This like, I guess you'd call this like the leather texture on here. That looks pretty good. This flat orange texture, decent enough. It's a good balance between the camo. The camo is decent. All the colors are fine. But it might be too much. It might be too much. It's got too much. I think you need to... You might need to remove the brown, or maybe the gray. Because you got too many colors going on in the main camo texture. So what I think, at least my opinion, is that the maximum number of different colors you can use on a war paint is 4, maybe 5, depending on how subtle the additional colors are. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors. Technically 8 if you count the shading on the deer head. That adds too many colors, makes it too busy. When you look at like a TF2 weapon model, just like a simple default one, right? How many colors does it have? About 3, typically. And sometimes even less than that. When you go beyond that, then things start to look a little bit weird, right? Unless you have additional colors that are just smaller details. But you want 3 colors, usually, to be like at the forefront of the design, and then have like small embellishments here and there. That works okay. right? One that does this very well is something like Coffin Nail. Where's my Coffin Nail? Coffin Nail, boom. Largely just 3 colors. Works decently well, so. Too many colors. Not saying like 3's a hard limit. Don't misconstrue that. But 7 to 8 colors, too much. In tandem with the busyness of the camo pattern, dial it back a bit. Also remove the deer head, now that I think about it. The deer head just doesn't really fit very well. Yeah, I think this one's a dud. I'll pass. It's like too generic. It's not quite rooted enough in the game style. Like the other TF2 camo patterns we have, like on Backwoods Boomstick and Night Owl, those look better. Where can I send the link? Join this Discord. If you want to send me workshop links, join this Discord, post them in the workshop link chat. That's where I'm pulling them from, and I'm largely going in chronological order, so if I don't get to all of them, I am sorry. And please, again, don't post the same link multiple times, because that just floods the chat. This is interesting. I like this. I like this a lot, actually. This camo pattern looks oddly familiar. It's very reminiscent of Wrapped Reviver. Monkey also made something like this. Monkey, are you here? This looks oddly reminiscent to the war paint that you were working on. But I kind of like their colors more. It's also got that albedo shine. That looks pretty sick. The only thing I don't like about this is the mint green. The mint green, I think, should also be the dark green. Or like a darker, slightly more saturated green. Then I think that would look better. The mint green is a bit off. That's the only flaw with this one that I can see, though. Everything else about this is really nice. It's very good. The red version looks like it's disguising as a pig hiding in a fake plant. What? What? I don't think I understand. That's an odd thing to say. I don't get it. I think this one's fine. I'd like to see it in game. I would have liked to have seen some in-game screenshots. Again, they're like when people do this thing where they do a showcase and they only use another texture as the background. Take some in-game screenshots. I want to see how it looks like in game. That'd be great. I'm sure, like, what I just read is probably some kind of a joke that I don't understand, and I probably said something, like, super inappropriate, but I'm completely clueless, and I have no fucking idea what just came out of my mouth. So, yeah. So I guess he got his clip, is gonna, like, share it with his, like, internal friend circle where it's, like, a weird inside joke. I don't know. It made no fucking sense to me. But I like this. What do you mean, finally, I like something? I like a lot of things people send me, but there's also a lot of things people send me that are just not very good. Oh, God, like this. Well? Yeah, so... The wood clashes with... So the wood, the metal, and the water don't work well together. I would either get rid of the metal or get rid of the wood, because all three together look pretty bad. I would advise keeping the metal texture because that's darker and contrasts the green on the water much more nicely, much nicer, more nicely, grammar, than the wood does. I would ixnay the wood and maybe not even get a tertiary on this because the main water texture is busy enough that you may not even need a tertiary for this. But if you go for a tertiary, stick with the same texture, but change the color to be more grayed out, perhaps. The brown doesn't look very good with this. Like, either, like, if you remove the metal and just stuck with the wood, that'd be good. Or you remove the wood and just stuck with the metal, that'd be good. The water texture itself, I think, needs work. I also think this should be team colored. Because this would look totally fine on blue team, but on red team, I can see this encountering some problems. So maybe you could do green for blue, and then you could do piss for red. No, not piss. What could you do? You could do... You could do orange, maybe. Like a muted orange, perhaps. See, like, the scaling's also a bit fucked on this. When you get scaling where the ripples in the water are nice and big, that looks nice. But when they're really scaled down like this, maybe not. You know what it kind of looks like? It also kind of looks like Damascus. Like the Damascus steel. That's what this kind of looks like. You know what you should do, dude? Like, instead of, like, trying to pander for Halloween, make this the same color as steel. Like, do, like, silvery metal on that. That kind of would look really cool. Instead of green. I'm curious to see what that would look like. And then you could keep the metal plate texture and the wood. That could work. I don't know, I do like this water texture. I've seen so many people attempt water textures for skins before, and so few get it right. This one kind of does. Like, see, that looks bad. This looks pretty bad. But the shotgun looks nice. That looks, yeah, because, like, the scattergun is just an unfortunate result of how the mapping of the texture works, because, like, the same texture is being mapped, but in two separate places. So, the section of the texture being used here is different than the one here. It's not, like, seamless across it, so it, like, repeats in the ugliest way possible. So that's just the nature of the base they used. But yeah, I think what you should do, kill off that wood texture, change the color to something that's, like, maybe darker black. Ah, that might look good. What could you do? It's hard to say, but try something other than the wood. Remove the wood first and just see how that looks like. I think the problem is the base selection, not really the skin. Maybe. It could, yeah, maybe try a different base. Do you say what base you use? You don't. Yeah, maybe fiddle around with different bases. Try different mappings to see if that helps. Then it would be that might be the trick. But this one is definitely getting there. It's definitely, I think the water texture is already there. You're just kind of at the mercy of the base you're using and the nature of random scaling and what have you. The wood texture itself isn't bad. Like, I think the texture work is fine, but the color doesn't mesh very well with the metal or the green. So it falls a little short of working well with that, so. I'll say ask me again later. We saw that already. Thank you, Mar. I mean, it's another... I mean, at least it's not straight stripes, right? At least it's not straight stripes. At least this, like, at least the stripes are wavy, right? The stripes are wavy, and it's not like Potent Poison. It's not like this hot piece of shit. Like, effectively what you made is a much better version of Potent Poison. That's what you've done with this war paint. Like, this is the version of Potent Poison that we should have received. Except this is, you know, the carnival tent that Marasmus uses. So, the texture work is very good in terms of, you know, adhering it to TF2 style. The color work is fine. Custom wear to green, I'm okay with that. Like, this is also, like, a better version of the Misfortunate war paint that we got. Because that wood texture they use on that one is really fucking bad, in my opinion. Like, this is the Misfortunate that we should have received. Also, no shitty duck sticker, which is nice. So, if Valve goes the route of adding more awful fucking holiday-themed shit for Scream Fortress, which I'm sure they will, I would not be offended if they added this one. Yeah, the dots on Misfortunate are just, ugh. Like, yeah, like Misfortunate was definitely one of the better skins in that case. That's really saying something because that was a bit of a stinker of a case, right? Like, this was the elite grade, right? Like, the dots here on the tent and the fact that you have, like, the perfectly horizontal stripes, it just does not look great, and the wood texture is so fucked with the scaling. But the custom wear on it's really cool. The custom wear on it's nice. Maybe not in the Holy Mackerel. It's not terrible, but it's just... Yeah, it got multiple textures kind of just clashing in the wrong ways. It's not the worst, but it's kind of just... Like, this is definitely, like, a better version of that. You simplified it. It's a simplified version. It is, as the kids say, mid. It is, as the kids say, mid. This one I like a lot more. Because we're back into, like, you know, team color. We don't have enough team-colored war paints. We really don't. We need more team-colored war paints. Please, God. Give us more of that. I don't like this texture, though. This looks like sponge. Asher from Omega Strikers. Looks familiar. Yeah, a little bit sussy, as the kids say. Yeah, the Asher is a little bit... I would not be surprised if whoever designed Asher watches my videos. Let's just say that. Feel free to, you know, keep making more big ladies with big orange hair and eye patches. I'm not gonna fault you. By all means, go crazy. However, oddly similar. Yeah, I think this one's pretty good. I think this one is also at the mercy of whatever base you used, right? Because, like, on some weapon models, this looks really good. Like, the shotgun looks really sick. Minigun looks really sick. SMG, ass. Pistol, eh. Oh, I forgot you made a yellow version of this one as well. See, you know what, man? I don't remember what I told you when I was looking at this one before. But maybe use the same white on the red as you do the blue. Because, like, the minty blue looks odd. I would just use the same white on both textures. I like how it looks kind of muted here. I can't tell if there's a red tinge to it. But if you put that same red on this one, that might look better. So... Oh, there is no yellow version, it's the lighting? That's the lighting on this? What? Looks like this looks like a completely different texture. Good lord. Anyway. Sight. I'll say yeah. Nobody would use this. This is like you know that game Fall Guys? Like the little peanut people walking around and like dying? That's what this is for. This is a Fall Guys hat. It's like a corn chip hat with guacamole in it. My god, this is fucking horrible. Stupid, tacky, wacky crap that does not belong in this game. Fucking awful. Is this a fucking Minions reference? I mean, Banny would like it. Banny, but you know, we know Banny loves his Minions. But I don't like Minions. I don't like bananas either, except Banana Laffy Taffy. So I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say hard pass on the fucking Minions reference. Oh, lord. This is like one of the worst showcases I have ever seen in my life. Oh my god. You chose the wrong color of the background, dude. You really needed to use in-game screenshots. I can also still see the green on your color key work. You might need to, you know, on your color select work in Photoshop, you might need to, you know, bring that in by a couple of pixels on the selection. That'll get rid of that for you. Yeah, so this war paint commits the ultimate cardinal sin of using flat black and flat white that is just way too saturated and does not look good in TF2. Yeah, it's a Portal reference, but you really need to mute down those colors. Tone down the black, tone down the white. The orange and blue might still work after you tone down the black and the white, but maybe even those could just, you know... Yeah, it's like like, look at the flashbang, right? Holy god. Yeah, like, that's what you know. Like, look. Like, what's that fucking meme? You know, like, the guy who, like, gets flashbanged, you know? He's kind of like this. Like, into his camera. It's not loading. Load, you bitch! It would be funny! There we go. It's so fucking bright. Oh, Jesus. It's not a flattering angle, I will say. It's not a flattering angle. I'm gonna say no. Definitely tone down those colors. Another flashbang. Good god. Just, no. Like, I get it's a joke. right? I get it's a joke. Nothing needs to be said beyond that. Oh, Christ. No. Already saw that one. It's ancient. Very reminiscent of the ward that we already have in the game. I mean, this is a really old cosmetic. We'll never see it in game. It's a crying shame. It's not bad. The buttons look a little bit funky. Buttons look funky, but the coat itself looks really nice. The paint region is also not the worst I've seen. So, like, dude. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd like to see it in game, but unfortunately, we'll never see it in TF2. Like, this is nice. Like, you know what's funny? It's like, compare that cosmetic to, like, the shit this guy makes now. Like, he went, like, hard Fortnite. This dude went hard Fortnite territory with his work. A bit of a shame. I think I've seen this one before. I'm 99.99% sure that I've seen this set before. I don't like the fact that it removes the team logo. I think that should be replaced because this means nothing to anyone playing the game. I would definitely do some kind of variant of the team logo and not just replace it with whatever that's supposed to be. The hat is nice. The coat is nice. It's not like this overly detailed thing that looks like it's trying to make a brand new character. I like it. This is really well made. Yeah, this is a genuinely a nice set for Demoman. This is good. This is really good. I'd love to see this in game, even with the fucking team logo issue. I take it it's the collar that's paintable. I'm assuming that's the paint region. Yeah, unfortunately they hide how the other colors look, right? They intentionally selected colors that won't be like this big nasty eyesore on your face. Smart move. But yeah, this is pretty good. I like it. I approve of another cool jacket for Demoman. How does the hat look? The hat's fully paintable, but same as with the collar, it looks like they did that thing where they toned down the saturation level of the colors, and that looks quite good. So I will also say yes to the hat. It's quite nice. Maybe we'll get it for winter. Who knows? Valve, hey, if you're listening, pick this. Or do I have to make another video? Do I have to make another video so people go mass upvote this and then you pick it because it's on the front page? Ooh. Okay, so, I get what they're going for here. This is meant to be like the bomb, so right away, this desperately needs to be orientation locked. Needs to be orientation locked. Scale down that primary texture by a lot, because you just get these big gobs of you know, team color or white. That looks pretty bad. Did they just do a texture rip? No, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like they did a texture rip, but they didn't quite match the colors. So maybe desaturate the team color a bit so it looks like the bomb. But you can actually no, maybe I lied, keep that. But definitely it needs to be broken up a little bit. It needs to be broken up. Like the way that Checkered, like, so, okay, so the way that gridded square patterns tend to look the best in TF2 is when they do it in the way that Corsair does it and Killer Bee does it. So let me show you an example of that. Let me pull this up because I know I've shown this before as an example for like a checkered pattern. Where are you? Combat. We want. Where is the checker? The checks, white and black. So you see how they do it here, where they're incorporating you know, that painterly style with the gradients in there. You have like the little subtle flaws that help break up the big patches of color. You know, that's what you really need to do if you're going to do a checkered pattern like this. Also scale it down. Like, I know it's big on the bomb, but it looks good just on that bomb. It needs to be scaled down on the weapon models, otherwise it's going to look really bad. Something else that bomb carrier does in the most recent collection we got that would also help this, that previous checkered patterns don't do, that I think they should do, is they add a few more little flaws to help break up the really sharp lines. Because really sharp, thin lines, either like an actual line itself or like a divider between two colors, that looks really bad in TF2 because everything looks like it's worn out, you know, there's gradients everywhere, so when you see a harsh line like that, it doesn't look really good. But what Bomb Carrier does is, you see that right here? You see this right here? Like, they have these little flaws, right, where it looks like it was painted on with a brush, and the bristles were overlapping over onto the next color, instead of it just being a harsh line. If you do that with the paint, then that will look a whole hell of a lot better. Like, little details like that go a really long way in helping simple textures like this not look flat and ugly. Just, even the little things like that go a really long way, and that's why I also like Bomb Carrier a lot. Because it does things like that, like it adds these little flaws and defects in there, and that does a lot for a war paint like this. So if they did that with the main texture, that would be phenomenal. This texture, get rid of it. Like, the rusted lines in between this, just don't do that. Just make that a solid texture. You don't need to have the rusted lines across this. That would be fine. Just a solid texture with these colors, you know, keep the little, you know, flaws and gradients in there, but get rid of these big, nasty, ugly lines. It incorporates an unnecessary color that doesn't need to be there. And I would take this out of green territory. Take that out of green territory. Steer it more to blue. And then it would be good. This one's most of the way there, but with just those few changes, then I think it would be really, really good. But as it is right now, I don't think it's acceptable for the game. Like, look how ugly... Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Like, look how ugly these rusty lines look. And also, like, you see this heart... Like, what is this texture supposed to be? Like, this bit here. Like, I get that it's meant to be this part, but when it does not translate very well onto weapon models at all. Like this. Like this. What? This texture looks odd. Like, if this was all one solid color... Like, if this was just solid gray or solid white... Then with these two other textures, then it's fine. But I don't think you need this either, because like this seam looks really bad. Yes. You would be a great politician. No, I would not, because I've always held that you need a certain level of sociopathy to be able to be a politician. So, yeah. Can you send me my panic attack? Thank you. Did I add you on Steam? I tried your trade offer link. It didn't work. I added you on Steam. Send me a trade offer for it, and I will send it to you. Unless you've already sent me a trade offer for it, therefore I will get to it. Johnny Smiles has given me a couple of factory new skins. Oh shit, thanks man. You are too kind. How much of using Valve textures is fine? Pretty much since the inception of TF2 skins, most of them in some form or fashion use Valve textures. I think using Valve textures is totally fine. That's fair game. They're already rooted in the game's art style. But don't just do a texture rip. If you just do a flat texture rip, that's not going to look very good. You need to do some tweaking in order for it to look better. Like, for example, Sky Stallion... I don't know if people saw the video I made about the war paints or not, but if you didn't, Sky Stallion actually uses mostly existing textures from TF2, except this metal texture. All the other textures are from the game files, except they tweak them a little bit to make like a whole new composition, right? If you tweak them, so it makes a whole new composition, then I think it's totally fine to use existing assets from the game. But if you just do a texture rip, it's probably going to look pretty bad. You got to put some effort into it, you know? It's a bit of a gray area, but I say if you do a bit of creative transformation, you can definitely use existing textures. And a lot of war paints do. So. Think Sky Stallion makes guns look like toys. I think so too. Like I've cooled, like you know how you warm up to something? I've cooled down in regards to that war paint. I don't like it nearly as much as I did when it first came out. So yeah, thanks for the skins, man. Much appreciated. I will put those on the page of skins that people give me. You are too kind. Moving on. I've seen this one before. It's okay. I mean, it's just like goggles and a scarf. It's fairly inoffensive. Oh, the paint region! Oh, dude, no. Can we... Listen, I'll keep saying it time and time again. Not every cosmetic needs to be paintable. Please. This would be fine if it didn't have this gigantic paint region. Stop doing this, please. Like this would have been fine if it was just this. It didn't. But no, of course, we have to make it pink. We have to make it green. Ah! And for that reason, I say no. What? Is this like Dota or something? This is old, isn't it? Yeah, this is very old. So, I mean, this person obviously exudes a lot of creative prowess, right? They're very talented, you know. They're very talented, but it's just not TF2. Like, there's a limit. There's a limit, and this almost crosses it. It's still not bad, though. It's still not bad by any means. I'm not offended by it either. I don't know, it just doesn't really feel... doesn't feel TF2 enough. Doesn't feel Pyro enough. Like, back in the day, when Halloween restrictions actually meant something, this would work rather well as a Halloween restricted item, because look how they paired it with other Halloween restricted items back when that meant something, right? So this was likely meant to be something that was Halloween restricted, and paired with other items in that same camp before all of that just went out of the fucking window. So, were it Halloween restricted, I think it'd be totally fine. If it were always available, it would still be better than most of the Halloween garbage we've received since 2017. So I will still say, yeah, I'll take it compared to like shitty little bouncer things, right? So I'll say yeah. Dude, it's a monocle. How does Spy not have a monocle yet? Does he have, doesn't he? Hold on. Does Spy have a monocle cosmetic? There are so many in this game I don't even know. I like it. The tie's kind of wide, though. That looks weird. The tie's kind of wide. Also, I don't like the shirt poking out. The shirt poking out from underneath, I don't think that's necessary. I think get rid of that. Like, tuck the shirt in. Tuck the shirt in, right? Tuck the shirt in. Keep the black undershirt. Then it's really good. Then that's fine. But the tie looks weird. Like, the tie is a bit wide. Maybe slim that down a bit. But I like the monocle. The monocle's a nice touch. Oh, the blue. Oh, I don't like the blue. Ah, no, it needs... I think it needs to be darker. Like, this is pretty dark. This is not. This is like candy. This looks like taffy. It's a taffy tie. I would definitely do a different hue of blue on this. Like, make it like darker and more gray. Then it would look better. And yeah, like looking at these different poses, yeah, the tails of the shirt sticking out from underneath don't look very good. Definitely tuck it in. Definitely tuck it in. But I like the monocle. Spy needs a monocle cosmetic. Assassin's attire is better. No, I hate the Assassin's attire. Is that the one I'm thinking of? TF2 Assassin's attire. Oh, no, never mind. This is not the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the smoking jacket. This is fine. This is fine. The smoking jacket was the one I'm thinking of, where it's like overly saturated blue or red. This one's good. This one is fine. Yeah, Assassin's attire is better. Okay, so here's a weapon that someone I know worked on, Arthur, and the gun itself looks really cool. I like it. It's very much rooted in TF2 style. I dig it. Give me your favorite Warpaint case to unbox. I mean, obviously, it's the most recent one. That's the best Warpaint case that we have received, in my opinion. Not skin case, not decorated weapons, but definitely the best Warpaint case we've received. So open 2023s, you're not going to regret it. Well, in terms of it being rooted in TF2 style, it definitely looks like a TF2 gun. It looks nice. I dig it. I think it's fine, but you don't want to look at the balancing concept for this. You don't want to look at the balance ideas for this because they're pretty bad. Does anybody want to harbor a guess? Anybody want to harbor a guess as to what this gun does? Or, like, the original idea for what this gun does? Harbor a guess. Also, thanks for the 2 pounds, man. I appreciate that. So, harbor a guess as to what it does. Crits on headshot. Yep, someone got it. Yep, the individual pellets crit on headshot. So this is a CSGO shotgun for the sniper. Talk about pure ass to deal with in TF2. Yeah. I think it has a lower number of pellets, right? It has like a lower number of pellets. It has a lower number of pellets, so like 5. It has a much tighter spread, so it's more like the shortstop. And each pellet does, like, lower damage, and it's, like, capped at a certain crit amount. It does, like, a base damage of, like, 4 or 5, and then each pellet crits. And being able to just, like, spam that across the map... Oh! Oh, God! That would just be really, really bad. Also, it would completely defeat the purpose of Sniper being weak at close range when this thing gets stronger at close range. I mean, it gimps him at long range, so he's more tolerable, but then he has a shotgun that can crit. So, I say hard pass on the balancing aspect, but the gun itself looks really cool. The gun itself is fucking awesome. Is it appropriate for sniper? Probably not, but it definitely looks like it looks like a TF2 weapon. And so in terms of aesthetic, it's totally acceptable. In terms of balance, no. I'll say yes, but in terms of balancing, Lord knows. Hey, now people are getting the right idea. Like, we got steel brushed already. This just turns it on its head, where it's more of the black metal than the silver metal. I'll take it. I'll take this over any of the Halloween Christmas garbage we normally get. I don't want no more fucking Christmas trees, or pumpkins, or candy, or little spooky ghosts, or skulls. Fuck that shit! Give me more weapons like this. More weapons that look like weapons that belong in the game. The metal texture, however, is throwing me off a little bit. The metal texture is throwing me off a little bit. The finer details in this look odd. Scale it up a little bit. You gotta scale it up. Warborn is about as small as you can get with metal plating and the details on metal plating before you lose it. Before you lose it. Like, you look at Warborn. Give me a bigger weapon model like the minigun. Like, you see these metal platings here? That's about as small as you want to get with the metal plates before the details get really cluttered. So what they should do is just scale this up. Scale this up, thicken the lines a little bit, and remove the rivets. The rivets are an extraneous detail that are unnecessary. Then it would be perfect. Also, scale up the silver texture a little bit because it's scaled down a little bit too much. So, like, it's a little too staticky. Blow it up by a little bit, then that would also look better. But beyond that, I like it. I'll take it. Already saw that. Already saw that. Please don't post the same links twice. I think I've looked at this one before. This one's also apparently outdated. Yeah, so what I just said about fine lines, this is what I meant about fine lines. Fine lines like this just do not look very good on TF2 weapons. Like, look how noisy it gets down here in certain areas. Like, it's close, but it's oh so far still. Also, this is too saturated. Need to tone that down a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Just too fine of details, man. Too fine of details. Needs to be simplified. Also, is that just like the ambassador being repeated over and over again on like this filigree? Maybe make it a little bit more generic and not just have the ambassador being repeated over and over again. I like how it wears. It wears really nice because like the metal just reveals more metal. That's nice. I said yes to this. I'm gonna say no. I don't remember saying yes to that. Everything except the music notes, dude. Like, everything except the music notes. The music notes just don't do this any favors. I don't... Why music notes? Like, I've seen many different, like, intelligence-themed war paints. Perhaps instead of music notes, maybe have it be classified documents. That roots it far more into, like, TF2 style than music notes ever could reach, right? So, I think that'd be more appropriate. And then change the green from green to, like, red and blue. Like, and make this, like, an intelligence-themed war paint. Boom. Done. And then this can still be, like, ink. Like, ink spilling out over classified documents, like, as they're redacting shit. Perfect. Done. But yeah, the music notes look funky. Like, stripes are one thing in TF2, but then having, like, really thin stripes like this, just... The custom wear does look nice. And I like the warp... Like, if I take my fingers and I'm covering my screen right now. I know you can't see this. I'm covering the parts of the texture that have the music notes. It looks so much better without the music notes. So, that's what I say. You know, I know the skin is based on sheet music, but just it falls short of looking okay for TF2. IMO. Okay, so let me open more links. Oh, there are so many. Oh, there are so many. I swear to God, if people posted, like, the same shit over and over again, I'm gonna be mad. Okay, that'll do. That's enough to continue. So, here's the Discord, yet again, for those who want to send workshop links. Post them in the workshop links chat. And I'm going in roughly chronological order. Already saw that. And I will... What? Like, I get that this is like a bit of a rag, but... Interesting. Let's see. Covert Kingpin. Like, we already have, like, the thing for the Triad's Trinket, right? That cosmetic already achieves this, but this just goes, like, a bit further. This looks weird. Like, this is just a flat texture, and that looks really bad. Like, this isn't, like, a modeled thing here. This is just a flat texture, so it's, like, this big, weird, like, strip that's, like, embedded in spine. Like, it looks thick. Like, how thick his neck and chest looks. It's weird. That's the only flaw here, is this gold chain. Everything else looks fine. The pocket square looks nice, the collar looks nice, the paint regions are fine, the jacket and coat look fine, but that fucking necklace looks funky. Looks weird. Add chest hair. There is chest hair, see? You have the subtle gradient of the chest hair there. I'll say yes. I'm okay with it. Definitely okay with this. People sending the same links again. Paranoid Pompadour. This is a Postal reference. Isn't it? This is a Postal reference. Scout with facial hair just does not look right. It doesn't look right. I think the hair is fine, but the little, you know, rat patch, nah. Yeah, I agree. I think this would look better on Sniper than for Scout. Should have been for Sniper, because again, giving facial hair to Scout just looks weird. The coat also leaves something to be desired. And, like, the alien shirt is a little out of place with the game. Maybe you could have replaced that with, like, the TF logo instead of just an alien, right? Like, it's fine. Like, I like, external media references are totally fine, but you really gotta root it in TF2 style. Like, you don't, like, a little alien head, like, yeah, we had the invasion update, but... Yeah, t-shirts look a bit funky with the, you know... Well, no, Scout wears a t-shirt, though. Scout has a t-shirt. Like, that works. But, like, this kind of a shirt... Overall, I say no. The hair is fine, the glasses are fine, the little rat pad, little fucking slip here is a bit funky. The coat... Oh, yeah, hell no. Look at that. Look at this fucking paint region, dude. Fuck that shit. Okay, no. Hard pass, sorry. Fucking gargantuan paint region. Okay, so... Can't do maps. Can't review maps. I can say nothing about them unless I've already played on them, and I'm not gonna load up a map and look at it on stream, because that's not an appropriate review of the map, how it plays. However, I have played on this map before, and it's fun. There's a couple of areas where the choke points can get pretty nasty, like going into the final point. Like, pushing into the final point on this map is ass, and this first point here is a bit much at times, but overall, this is a fun map. I do like this one. Like, I think I would have preferred to have seen this in the game over Reckoner or Sulfur or even Phoenix. Even Phoenix. So this map is really good. I like to see it in game. Big Iron grenade launcher. I have reviewed this one before, and I already upvoted it. So I will say again that this is a really sick grenade launcher. I don't like the alternative style. I think this one looks kind of bad. But the other one is fine. So... No. Custom wear to a really busy, bright, saturated mess is just really fucking ugly. This does not look good. This is just a mishmash of a shitload of colors. It looks like clown vomit. It does not look good in TF2, and it never will. The furthest you can get with, you know, kind of rainbow pastel-y skins are like the rainbow skins from the Pyroland collection, and even those are kind of pushing it. It's just, shit like this isn't appropriate for the game. I don't like it. Like, this just looks like the Antique Annihilator, which is, is it the Antique Annihilator? I'm pretty sure that's the minigun name, because there's also the scattergun from that collection with the same textures. But then with higher wear, it just turns into fucking... Yeah, that just, like... No. No, it does not look very good. Hard pass. It's really ugly. Look at, like, all the scratches make it look so busy. They're all different colors. It's just looks like vomit. It's like it got sent through a... I can't say this joke because I'll get in trouble. I really want to say this joke because I think it's funny, but then someone's gonna clip it, and then I'm gonna get canceled again, even though I don't think I'm saying anything offensive, but someone with a platform will take offense to it, and then I'll get in trouble again. And I hate that I have to self-censor what I think is funny for the sake of not having my life turned upside down. Sucks. So I won't say the joke. Have I seen this one? I like how everyone's saying to say it. I'm not gonna say it. You got too much going on here. The color work is phenomenal. Colors are fine. But, like, you got too much shit going on with this main texture. You have, like, the circles and the lines and then the metal panels. Yeah, simplify that main texture. Kill off some of those extra shapes. Thin, I know I'm saying this right, like it's a little weird for me to say this, but thin out the lines a little bit. And something I noticed here is they do embossing. Like it's like this etched embossing. This type of etched embossing does not look very good in TF2. It needs to be flat lines. Modeled a bit with subtle gradients and, like, you know, paint bristles and such, right? That's the TF2 style. Harsh embossed lines like that, or etched lines, don't look good in TF2. They look funky. They're too thick. That's kind of the only problem, though. Maybe add a little bit of texture to, like, the orange. It's got it, but because it's relegated to small parts of the weapon model, scale it down, perhaps? The sticker's a bit flat. I don't like the sticker. Does it need the sticker? Yes, I think it does. What could you do to improve the sticker? Like, you can't add texture to it. Maybe it doesn't need much. Yeah. Yeah, see, it's got like that embossed nature to it. Looks weird. Like, get rid of this panel with the circles on it. That looks weird. But like this panel looks fine. This panel does not with the circles. Entire gun is flat. See, I think it would help if they made these lines sharper and darker and a bit harsher. You know, then that would help them pop a bit more and not look so flat. Maybe bump the contrast a bit on this. That could help too. Yes. Just a few, like, this needs subtle tweaks. This needs subtle tweaks. Battlescar looks better than Factory New. I agree, because it breaks up, you know, like, this main gray texture. Because it adds those thinner, harsher, darker lines it needs to make it not look so flat. And so if they thin out those lines and make it darker, it's going to incorporate that detail into that main texture, so you don't have to rely on the wear to get that. So, that's what I think they should do. What is this? I've seen some head replacements, right? Like I've seen some fucking head replacements, man. But this one takes the cake. This is like way too much. Like even as a Halloween restricted item, right? Like I know it's old. I know it's old. This was back when Halloween restrictions were a thing. But my God, this is awful. Like it's well made. It's awful in the context of TF2, right? Like this, like all the creative prowess was shown in its creation, but this is just not good for TF2. No. I absolutely despise cosmetics that remove default team color just to make it paintable. I don't think that's a good idea. Another old cosmetic, I do not like this. Because even though there's small little accentuating details on the player model, you need to preserve as much team color as you can, because that's inherent to the game's design, and if you detract from team recognition, that detracts from gameplay. Not saying that this would, like, kill team recognition on Demoman, but I just don't think it's appropriate. You shouldn't do that. Yeah, it's unnecessarily paintable. It shouldn't be paintable. So, hard pass. What is this, dude? What is this? Oh, and why is it paintable? It's Redmond and Blutarch. Why are they fucking green? Fuck off. It's so bad. It's so ugly. It's like... Oh, it's so garish and cartoony in all of the wrong ways. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so tired of cosmetics like this, man. God. Like, a little bit of wacky is fine. Like some subtle wacky is okay. This is not subtle. This is just this goofy little character floating above your shoulder. If it wasn't paintable, fine. Like, it's at least passable in that regard, but why'd you make it fucking paintable? We have Greenman. And I can't say what I was gonna say for that one, but like, awful. It's also ancient, so just thank God we'll never see it in game. A weapon effect. This is different. We actually have something that isn't a hat or a war paint that was sent my way. We have a weapon effect. I'm of the volition. I am of the idea. I am of the thought that we don't need more weapon effects or unusual effects in general. I am happy, controversial take, that they just keep recycling the same weapon effects instead of just adding a shitload more. I have a video coming out about this in regards to unusual effects, but like, Could you imagine if they kept adding the volume of weapon effects similar to the fashion they've been doing with the, like, normal hat effects and weapon effects, right? Oh my god. There'd be so much noise in this game. It'd be everywhere. Like, if different weapon effects were as common as unusual effects for hats. Like, holy fuck. I'm glad they'd stopped adding them after Jungle Inferno. Or, rather, Tough Break. So, yeah, so, like, we have, like, over 350 unusual effects in the game right now. Double that if they kept adding the volume of weapon effects that they're... Double that if they kept adding the same volume of weapon effects as for hat effects, right? So... This one's pretty bad. Like, I get what they were going for here, but it's just, it needs more work done. Like, the little crackles just looked a little bit too busy. It's not, like, polished enough. We have, like, a video here. So okay, so this is smoother. I think if it was just the sparks and not, like, the lightning, then it would be fine. The lightning makes it a little bit too much. Just the sparks, then it would be okay. I'm kind of okay with it. Yeah, and 80% of people use the classic unusual effects because most new unusual effects, like post 2016 roughly, are really bad. I've seen this one before. It's an awesome skin. Saw that already. So someone said, look at the comments. Why look at the comments of this? Is there a point to it? Why? Am I supposed to be seeing something here? Oh, we have some silly comments here. You don't need to care about accurate art style or authenticity, as Valve and workshoppers stopped caring for it over 10 years ago. I hate this mentality. I fucking hate this mentality. Like, oh, it's already bad, so let's just keep making it worse, right? No, we need to preserve what we already have instead of just allowing it to rot and fester even more. I despise that mentality. Like, we should not let it keep getting worse. God, like, oh, fuck it, it's already on fire, just leave it. No, don't do that. The community still keeps doing this pointless gatekeeping, and it won't stop anytime. Yes, I will keep gatekeeping, my hobby, because I want to cease its continued degradation into wacky, shitty hell. I love this game, and I want to preserve its beautiful stylistic design choices that create the full experience that people keep coming back for 16 years later. And if we keep taking away from that, if we keep layering garbage on top of that and taking away what makes this game special, which is its visuals, it's gonna make the game worse. And we need to stop doing that. And I will keep fighting for it. And fuck you to anyone who thinks it's like, oh, he's just being a contrarian asshole. Fuck you. Anyways, I'm not gonna spend 20 minutes reading comments. Intergalactic Outlaw. A space set. Oh, dude, this was obviously meant for Invasion, but it never got added. Interesting. Interesting. This would have been a cool set for Invasion. This would have been an awesome set for Invasion. Look at this. This is awesome. It's kind of a shame that we didn't get it. I like it. I dig it. Like, this is really neat. Like this is like back when people like gave a shit about making cool item sets and such for the game, and how like these cosmetics mesh with a bunch of other stuff we already have in game. This is awesome. It's a shame we'll never see it. Like, we'll never see this item set in game because it's too old and it's from you know days gone by. But it's not bad. I like it. Oh! Oh! Woo! Woo! That's like I got hit by a blast of onion fog. My eyes are watering a little bit. Woo! God! Jesus. Well, it's really busy. Like, holy Jesus, what did you do, man? Oh my God, this is a disaster. Holy fuck! you made textures that are from a different game entirely. None of these look like they belong in TF2. And you made somehow, like, the busiest textures imaginable and slapped them onto all onto a war paint. Ugh! Like, the only positive note I can give to this is that, like, the colors look fine. But good God almighty, what were you thinking? This is awful. Like, pick one or the other. Like, don't do, like, the poop balls and, like, the exploding embers, lava, magma, whatever that's supposed to be. Pick one or the other and stick with that. Like, I would ixnay the dirt texture entirely. Get rid of that completely. Just make that a solid brown or a metal texture. Keep this metal texture. That looks fine. But this cracked lava texture is it's like TV static. It's like television static. You really need to simplify this. Really tone this down. God. Heavily simplify that main texture, man, because this is a dud all around. And there's like lightning too, so you have like 1, 2, 3 really busy texture. Like get rid of this lightning texture. Is this all the same texture? Is this layered on top? Are these layered? Is this the wear? I can't even tell. What's going on? But yeah, get rid of the lightning. Like just stick with the magma texture. Holy Jesus. It's like, this looks like concept art for another game entirely. And it looks like you made textures for things that aren't supposed to go on weapon models. Like serious hard pass. Like, holy God, this fucking cosmetic again. Flying Scotsman. Another piece of airborne attire for Demoman. Not as good as the previous one, honestly. Not as good as the previous one. I like the other one more. This one's also inoffensive. I think this one's fine. But I like the other one more. But I will say yes to it. Of course, why not make everything paintable? But, yeah. It's okay. Wallace Warcry. Very old. Old-ass Taunt. So the animation is really rough. It's not the best work, but the overall idea and the concept is really cool. Like, if the animation work was polished on this would be a great taunt. Because it's reminiscent to the one where Soldier, you know, takes a sip of the coffee. You know, where he takes a sip of the coffee, that's a kick-ass taunt. This is very much like that one. If it was polished up, it'd be perfect. But in its current state, it's not appropriate. I'd like to see this guy come back and redo this one and really polish up the animation. Fresh Brewed Victory, thank you. I could not remember the name of that taunt. Yeah, this is definitely one that would be a really nice addition if they polished up the animation, for sure. I like it. Like, I really do. Come back. Who did this? You two people. Come back and, like, redo this. Like, keep the animation, like, keep all, like, the major keyframes the same, but really smooth it out, you know? Then it's... Dude, you can do it with fucking objectors, man. Oh, shit. Could you imagine this taunt with objectors? Oh my God. Dude. Oh man, that would be awesome. Holy shit. You kill someone, you whip out like a giant pair of titties or like a goatsy fucking, you just fucking flash goatsy to them. Oh my God, that would be fucking hilarious. Oh God, please come back and come back and redo this. I need to see this taunt redone, finished, put in game, so someone can get a kill and whip that out and just fucking goatsy on there. Ah! Or just like some anime titties or something. That would be fucking hilarious. Oh my God, please do that. That would be so funny. I'm from a different era. I know people don't find humor like that. Like, I know you younger people don't find humor in that, but I do. I think that shit's funny. This is... like, people are really going back in time to send me shit today. Definitely more appropriate for, like, the soldier or the medic, and we already have cosmetics like this that fit that territory. Really not something for the pyro, like the shoulder, like, lapels? Is that what those are called? Like, the shoulder pads? It's like, eh. They don't look very good. They're a bit too chunky, cartoony, not really, like, how they should look for TF2. Size should be brought down a little bit. Paint region is really... It's also not really appropriate for Pyro. It's not something you'd, like, see Pyro wear. And yeah, we already have something very similar to this for Soldier, so it's like, it's more for Soldier or Medic. Not really for Pyro. I'll pass on that. I like it. I like it. It reminds me of Knife Storm. You guys remember Knife Storm? Most of you here probably don't remember Knife Storm, because Knife Storm came out a decade ago. But there's an unusual effect that was a Halloween effect called Night Storm. And this is very reminiscent of that. Very reminiscent of that. And so this tickles my nostalgia bone. This tickles the nostalgia bone. It hits that just right. Unfortunately, it's all red. It's just all red. This needs to be like a team-colored effect somehow. Because if it's just red, a big, massive red object floating over someone that's blue, that's gonna be kind of fucky. No idea how you would make this team-colored, but... because, like, blue rain would be weird. So... but it still looks nice. The thing about Knife Storm is, like, the cloud is mostly gray, and the knives are also not full red, and it's like the blood drips are the only thing that are red on that effect. But this is all red, right? Like, if the cloud was gray, and the drops were blood, that'd be good. That'd be great, actually. So it's basically Knife Storm without the knives, but... as it is now, it needs team color. Purple could do purple, but then it's like sludge. Well, like toxic sludge, I guess, but... fairly inoffensive, but it definitely needs a team-colored variant, for sure. Purple could work. I think purple could work. Maybe what you could do, don't know if this is possible. Irritant Ichor, have team color dripping. Could do. Have it be like literal acid rain. Like acid rain instead of blood. And then have it be team colored. That'd be cool. Something else, like an idea I just had, like, I don't know if this is possible with the particle generator, but if you could have the top part of the clouds be gray, and then have them transition via a gradient to something that's red or blue, team color, instead of the whole cloud being just colored, that might be nicer, instead of just all being the same color. Not sure if that's possible, but if it is... I think that would help. Needs some work. I think I also saw this cosmetic set before, but I didn't vote on it, and that would be the Telltale sign if I did. So I'm gonna look at it again. Is this like... it reminds me of that guy from Atlantis. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of the guy from Atlantis. I think this is what this is meant to be. It's Vinny. It's Vinny. Yeah. Dude, I gotta watch Atlantis again. The hair looks weird. I will... Just give us the band. Just the band, man. You don't need to make the hair and the mustache paintable. Just the band. Just that. Only the band. Please. Don't make the whole fucking head paintable pink. Fuck. Stop it. Get some help. God, the thing is, like, no one's gonna dye it these colors. Everyone's gonna dye it green and pink. Ugh. Like, if it was just the headband, fine, but... I mean, it's okay. The hair looks oddly modeled. It looks kind of like spongy. It's like a jellyfish got put on top of his head. But I like the media it's referencing, and it looks good. And the shirt cosmetic is nice. I think this is okay. The paint regions are actually not that obnoxious. They're just on the cuffs of the sleeve and the neck, so that's pretty much okay. Yeah. Also, it looks like it goes back to like the classic, or a variation, or a variant of the classic Demoman emblem. So that's cool. Why'd you make the whole hair paintable, man? It just does not need that. It really doesn't. I looked at this one before. Looking at it again, I still like it. I still think the saturation should be toned down a little bit on the red and blue. Yes, it's referencing China. China #1. Love you, baby. But... Oh, that's right, this gradient. These gradients are what I didn't like about this. I don't think this should play off of gradients. Just make the stripes one color, and then just make the secondary the same color. That's what we should do. Like, keep that all blue, keep that all yellow. Don't have the variance like this, because it incorporates a really odd inconsistency that I don't think is good for war paints. Macaw Mask does this. This is, you know, still rooted in team colors, but it just, I don't like that level of random variation. Not for TF2 skins. Maybe for, like, CSGO, but definitely not for TF2. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they should do, I think. But I still like it. I've seen this one before. Another really good skin. More links. Okay. I forgot where I left off exactly, so if I miss things, I'm sorry. I have, like, hundreds more to get through. Whipping them out, whipping them out, whipping them out, whipping them out. So many more. Oh, lordy, there are many, many more links. Okay. I just got sent someone's entire workshop page. Like, why did you send me the entire workshop page? Like, I'm not gonna, like, go through this guy's entire library. Seen this one before. I like it. I don't... What is this, dude? What? Why do we have, like, a bunch of Skullgirl shit? What the fuck? I mean... I'm gonna say no to all of these because they just look really bad. Really goofy. Like, the Pyro hat is kind of okay, but everything else is just like, what the fuck is this, man? Failed collab, they look awful. Yeah, I agree. They look pretty bad. Oh my god. Just... The culture surrounding the game right now would be all over this cosmetic. The social culture surrounding this game right now, with younger people, I'll say, playing this game, they would really love this cosmetic. I think it's ass. I think it's dog shit. But... Was this like an actual collab? Did like the Skullgirls developers make these? Like the guys at Weta Workshop made their stuff for like the Groordbort pack and such. I'm seeing yeses. Okay, so if that's true, if these are from the Skullgirls devs, you tried. You tried. I'll say that, but I'm glad they didn't get in TF2. I'm glad they didn't get in the game. Oh, God. I've seen this one before. I know I reviewed it before. I like it. I think this would be like a really neat Halloween item for Spy. I think it's sick. I'd like to see it. It'd be very cool. Very, 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 very neat. Is this Spider-Man? Is this like Spider-Man or Elsa reference? If it's like a Spider-Man Elsa reference, I'll be very upset. I know nothing about Marvel. I don't watch Marvel movies. I don't read the comics. I know fucking nothing. The only thing I know about Marvel and shit is like, you have like creepy Spider-Man Elsa videos, and if this is derivative from that, I have to say no by default. It's Spectator. I don't know who Spectator is. Like if you name any Marvel or DC character aside from Spider-Man, Superman, or Iron Man, I'm not gonna know who it is. I know nothing about it. But that aside, it looks cool. The hat is weird. I don't know if I like the hat. And the hat is paintable. Ugh. Maybe Yeah, black by default looks weird. I don't think it should be black by default. I think it should be this level of team colored by default, like Air of Debonair. That would be better than just black, in my opinion. You can keep the scarf black and the face cover black, but the hat should be team colored. Because things like the Armored Authority, like the black helmet for Soldier, that looks kind of funky. I wish that hat were team colored a little bit, because just like the jet black helmet looks kind of funky. But I'll say a loose yes to that cosmetic. Spaghetti coated? Oh no. No. Like, I mean, like, at a glance, these textures, like, you see how they did this grid texture here? This is going back to that grid texture we were talking about earlier. The lines are not super saturated. They're not, like, at the forefront of the texture. They're, like, in the background. And the main background color is what you see first. That's at the forefront. And it's broken up by, like, these little subtle flaws. And you see little gradients in there. It's in that painterly style. That's how you handle a grid texture like that. But good God, don't use the missing texture thing, ever. Don't do it. It looks so bad. The reason, it's intentionally made to look ugly, so when you're in a map or you're working on something, you know a texture is missing. It's made to look like shit. Don't put it on weapon models. Even if it's toned down, it still looks really bad. Like, don't use that as a custom wear. Like a simple custom wear would be fine for this. The sticker is a little on the nose in terms of like, oh, it's like a source war paint, but like I say no to this. That's pretty bad. Like, if this wasn't the custom wear, I would say yes. Yeah, and the sticker is also a little hideous. Like, this one here is fine. The rare version with the gradient, with the flat white, gonna say no. Like looking at it in game, it looks quite nice, but I want to see if they show the wear. Yeah, that looks... Look how bad that looks, dude. Yeah, the sticker looks bad, too. Yeah, the sticker looks bad, and the custom wear looks bad. I would definitely not use flat white on the sticker. Don't use flat white. Tone that down. Don't use a white outline on this either. Maybe black would be better, but yeah. I just realized my music stopped. Hold on. My music stopped. Continue watching? No, I do not want to listen to Chill Beats by Will Smith. Why did this come up? Give me songs to occupy my noggin. Various Nintendo music. Sign me up. Sign me up. Another map that I can't review, and I've not played on this one, so I can't give you any feedback on it. Sorry. Just another neon color palette swap of some random generic object slapped on the players' heads, except this time it's an orbiting crow with the same energy trail particle effect that we've been seeing since 2019, except instead of summer, it's now for winter. It's so boring and overdone at this stage. I just don't want to see any more of these in game. Oh, I'm so tired of this rinse and repeat recycled shit for unusual effects. It's all the same colors, just slapped onto, again, a random object or some remotely spooky thing, and now make it hover above their head, or make it orbit their head, or make it behind their head, or what have you, or now through their head, because now we can have unusual effects that are basically just now another hat. So, hard pass. No. I mean, rest in peace, Bob Ross, but... it doesn't need to be paintable. It does not need to be paintable. If this wasn't paintable, maybe. But man, this modeling work looks like ass. It looks like clay. It's just clay. Like, the demo... like, if they had done something similar to, like, Demoman's Fro in terms of that level of texturing and modeling work, but this just looks like a plastic shell. It looks like a Lego head. It does. It looks like a fucking Lego head, like a minifigure head. Oh, God, yeah. That's exactly right. No, I'm gonna say no. No, I know it's sad because people won't vote yes unless it's paintable, so... Whoa! Whoa! Well, cardinal sin number 1 has been violated again. Flat black and flat white just do not look good on weapon models. You need to tone down those two colors and anchor it more in TF2's art style, which is also not modern art, which someone just pointed out. And also, like, it's never good to layer a random element on top of something that looks like an ordered element. You almost have what appears to be a grid here with random assets kind of strewn about, and it's just like in that level of noisiness and randomization that just does not look pleasing to the eye at all. It almost hurts to look at. I really don't like it. The red and the blue color are fine, like the wood colors are fine, but if you tone down the black and the white, this one would be a lot better in my book, but just, I am not a fan of the modern art style in TF2. It just doesn't look appropriate. I'm gonna say no. This one is just a dud all around, I will say. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Oh god. Like, I want to, like, I really struggle sometimes with the desire to give feedback. Like, I know that's the only way people are going to improve, but every fiber of my being just, it's bad. It's so bad. It's awful. It's garbage. Jesus Christ. This needs a lot of work before it's even remotely acceptable. Too many random elements strewn about. I can't even get a good grasp on what's even in this primary texture. You have, like, stars, and I don't know what this is, and a giant eyeball, and these really thin lines, and then it's a stripe pattern on top of that, juxtaposed against a very dark color, which has mostly nothing to break it up. And then the secondary is just more of that same gray, which is fine. It's, you know, it's like a simpler element that helps kind of bring this down a little bit. But man, this main texture, like, get rid of the eye. The eye is not very good. It's not even anchored in TF2 style. I would get rid of that immediately. Heavily simplify this texture. You can keep the stars, scale those up, and, you know, have them being, like, repeating sets of 4. That would look better if you're going to keep going with the stripe angle. Thicken, like, reduce the number of thin lines here, thicken them a little bit. To also tone down the saturation, especially on the blue. My god, this is way too saturated. Definitely steer this more towards grayish blue territory, and then desaturate a little bit, and then brighten it a little bit. Then that'll help it. This almost looks like candy. Also the red is too saturated, like, and also, like, the texture work is very fuzzy. Look at this, it's like very staticky and fuzzy. Like, the resolution on this is not appropriate inside of, like, I think even the resolution is wrong. It looks fuzzy, but then again, their game quality is not very high, so I can't even tell what this is supposed to look like in full quality. So that's also not doing you any favors, that you took these screenshots with, like, you know, 480 by 360 resolution and made a showcase showing these skins against something that's not in the game. I appreciate the in-game screenshots, but it needs a lot of work before this is acceptable. The only texture that I do kind of like is this white texture, but you have stripes against stripes, and that almost always looks really bad, so ixnay the stripes on this one. Keep it that lighter grayish, brownish color, that would help a lot. I would get rid of these weird, whatever this is supposed to be, and I would make these stars white, the same white as this, so it's, you know, these two textures don't harshly contrast with each other. That would help. Does it fit the 84 era? I don't know. I don't even know what this is supposed to be referencing. Referencing to one of the most important and well-known books of all. Is this meant to be 1984? It like this is meant to, like, this is the Big Brother war paint. Like Big Brother is watching you. Like, if you want to incorporate the eye, make it a sticker. Like, make an eyeball sticker, right? That would look like use Park Pigmented as a base. Have the main texture on Park Pigmented be this texture without the eyeball, with stars, scaled up, spaced together more closely, so it breaks up the gray. Keep this secondary, that's fine. Get rid of the stripes on this, and then make it an eyeball sticker. Then that would look more like the Big Brother war paint. And then, of course, desaturate the colors. Then like start there and then see where that goes, because as it stands right now, it needs a lot of work. But if you start with that, then you're gonna get, like, you don't need to go back to the drawing board. The concept is fine, but you gotta, it needs a lot more polish. It needs a lot more work. As it stands right now, I'm gonna say no. I was gonna do another joke, but I can't do the joke. I can't do the joke. I want to do the joke so bad. Fuck. Fuck it. What is this? What is this, man? This is like... someone's first ever hat, it seems. Created for the special 72-hour TF2 jam. It looks like it was made by someone in 72 hours, that's for sure. Concept is fine. Needs a lot of work before it's like even remotely polished enough. Like the modeling is amateurish. Like you need to brush up your modeling ability before it's acceptable. Or have someone else do it, because this is not appropriate for the game in terms of quality at the moment. Urban Assault. It's not stripes or camo, it's wood. Like this is a wood texture. This is wood. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, it does look weird, doesn't it? It almost looks like a leopard print. Yeah, it looks kind of like a leopard print. It doesn't even look like wood. It doesn't look like TF2 wood. See what I mean? It looks like animal fur. Yeah, I kind of agree that it needs some extra detail. I like the base they used where it keeps some pieces of the default weapon model intact. That helps it on some. But yeah, I think the wood is the thing that's throwing me off here. Like, if you look at other TF2 wood textures, this falls short of that. Yes, the wood needs some attention. Like, especially on the wrench, good god. Yeah, I think the wood should be not this. Yeah, this needs something. Like, the gray needs more, like, details on it. Like how Secretly Serviced has it, right? Like, Secretly Serviced has, like, a lot of stuff going on. Like, you know, like the subtle gradients and things to help break it up. This has nothing to break it up. It needs something. It needs something on there. Like, it looks better with the wear because you get extra stuff on there, you know? It's not bad. The thing that I don't like the most is the wood texture. The wood texture needs work, because again, it looks like leopard print. So. Or not leopard print, tiger stripes. I'm so dumb. Tiger stripes, not leopard print. Tiger stripes. God, help me. Saw that already. Spare sneakers? These like bowling shoes? Why does Scout have bowling shoes? I mean, they don't look bad. Funnily enough, today's the 8/8/2023. What do you mean? Am I missing something? Am I forgetting something? We haven't gotten shoes for Scout in a long time. 88? I don't get it. What does 88 mean? What is FNAF? Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. I know nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's. I have no idea what you're talking about. The only thing I know about Five Nights at Freddy's is that there's pizza, and there's a giant yellow duck woman that people want to fuck. Or it's a robot. That's all I know about Five Nights at Freddy's. Beyond that, I know that there's a shitload of porn, too. Because Twitter is full of it. Beyond that, I know nothing about the game. I've never played one. I don't care to play one ever in my life. Yeah, not for me. Bowling shoes, they're kind of not good. They don't look terrible, but why like, fucking batting a bowling ball? That's interesting. Oh, there's a 3D model here. Oh, I forgot Steam lets you do that. I would consider these fairly inoffensive, but I also see no one using these. When Scout has other shoes that are more rooted to what would be considered like his tastes, that also look better. So I'll say yes anyway. They're not offensive. They're okay. Woodworked. It looks like a toy. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Not for these textures. The wood leaves something to be desired, for sure. Did you make this? Wood texture? Considering he went for an existing houndtooth pattern, this looks like an existing asset. I can't confirm that, but this does not look like something that they drew. This looks like a texture they got either from the game files that I don't remember, or something off of Google. This does not look like something that they made. Cannot confirm nor deny that, but yeah. That's why it looks kind of off. Yeah, it looks too real. Yeah, it's too realistic, and the wood is not really rooted in the style of the game. In my opinion. Like, let me go to Damascus real quick. Yeah, like, Damascus's wood looks better because you don't have all of these thinner, fine lines like this that really get lost, especially on smaller weapon models. So I would definitely not use a wood texture like this. I would go for something that's simpler, more kind of grounded in TF2 style. You know, you go to something like, I don't know, high rollers. Like that. Like this kind of wood tends to look better for TF2 than something like this. It's a little too photorealistic for the game. A little too photorealistic. The colors are fine. Like, these work really nicely together, but this wood texture is a bit of a dud. I would do something different, but keep these. And then come back again and try later. Saw that already. Hard pass. Like, no. Like, little Doodle war paints like this just don't look good, because you're incorporating a different art style into the game that is heavily stylized, and it just looks really bad juxtaposed against each other. So hard pass on anything that's like this. Also, it's just notebook paper, like photorealistic notebook paper that just does not belong in the game. I mean, the art looks nice. Like, these are nice little doodles and sketches. They look quite nice. I like the idiot on Pyro's face mask, but this really is not appropriate for a weapon model. They're cool drawings. The dude's got talent, but it's not good for a war paint. Yeah, and this is another one that someone has been messaging me about for a while now, and I don't remember if I looked at this one on stream or not yet, but like the Damascus texture is still falling short. All of the rest of the textures are fine. Like this is how a wood texture should look for this is how a wood texture should look for TF2. I think your Damascus texture is falling short because it's just too many small details blobbing and blurring together. Simplify it if it's possible. I don't know how you could do that, either by just scaling it up, maybe even just scaling it up. That would help. Scaling it up would probably help us a lot. But beyond that, this does look rather nice. But yeah, if you scale this up, I think this would look a lot nicer because it looks like muddy water. It's very noisy. If you scale it up, that would definitely help it not look so busy. And then that might be the only thing you need to do to like actually pin down this war paint as finished or complete. So, good stuff. Alright. Get some more links here. More. Oh, so many. Oh, so many. I'm probably gonna cut that bit with that heavy cosmetic out of the final VOD. Because I don't want to get in trouble. Hate to break it to you. So, like, the Speedy Scoundrel has that hair. Is it just a different style of that hat? I guess it is. So I guess they put this one in the game that has that same hair. But it also comes with a mustache. So I guess it was different styles. Weird. Yeah, I don't want to have it on YouTube because someone's gonna, like, clip it, take it out of context, and make my life into a living hell, and I really don't want to deal with that right now. It was funny in the moment. All of you got to experience it, but I really don't want some, like, hypersensitive child to, like, look at that and get, like, and, like, shit his pants and then, like, run a full, like, another cancellation campaign because I played that song or whatever. So. I hate my life. Oh my god. Yeah, it's obviously a joke. Like, what's wrong, Scoob? Oh my god. Oh Christ. Well, they unmasked the villain. Oh Jesus, dude. Okay. Funny. Funny. But holy god. Fuck, I like the default A-pose sniper as Fred. Okay, like, it's cute, right? It's cute. It's cute. It's funny. Haha. Clever green. Is this texture even used? Oh, I guess it is, yeah. I'd like to see more of that. If anything, I think that pattern should be your primary, and then that green should be your tertiary. But it doesn't look bad as it is right now. I think it looks nice. Like this, like it's in my opinion, it's always really hard to get green to look good in TF2 beyond like small accentuating details or like, you know, grass, obviously. It's okay. It looks good enough. But I think it needs something. I think it definitely. I wish we got more of this texture, more of this checkered texture to break up the solid green. If we got more of that, I think it would be a lot nicer. Like maybe I don't know what you can do. Maybe try a different base. Yeah, a different base might help. A different base might help this one because I want to see more of that checkered pattern. I'd also like to see like it wears too. Maybe a custom wear could do this one some good too. Like, have it wear down to, like, a darker custom wear, like a darker wear, like a darker wood or something like that. That might be nice. Yeah, but I'd like to see more of this texture to the forefront because we're, like, where it stands now, like, I just don't get enough of it. Like, I want to see more of it. And I think, again, that would help break up all of the green and all of the wood that are on here that make it a little too green. 6 out of 10, not bad. I can agree with that. 6 out of 10, not bad. I can agree. Definitely want more of that other texture. Definitely try a different base. Monkey apparently accidentally hate his wife. I'm so sorry. May she forever live in her new Vor home. No. Like, obviously, no. We don't need Fortnite cosmetics in TF2. Pyro overalls. Overalls for Pyro. I mean, it's not bad. What's the paint region? Is there a paint region? Please don't tell me there's a fucking paint region. They put a fucking paint region on this, I will shit my goddamn pants. There better not be. If one of these has a paint region, I'm immediately downvoting. We don't need another water waders incident. We don't need another water waders incident. We don't need this again. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need another water waders. It does not seem like it has a paint region. So it gets a pass. I like it. It doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. I like it. I'll take it. It's so fucked. Oh my god, it's so fucked. One size fits all, baby. Oh my god. Like son, like wacky like this is it hits just the right spot. It hits just the right note of wacky where I'm like, okay, all right, that's funny. That's fucking funny. God Almighty, jeez, fuck, dude. Okay. I mean, obviously no, but that's funny. That tickles the funny bone. This again! Stop sending me this! Every time! I know, it's a funny meme. Haha, funny madcap. No. I've seen that set already. Knit kitted. Knit kitted. Okay, so one of the biggest violations when it comes to making textures for TF2 is ultra fine details like this just do not translate well to TF2 weapon models, because it looks really good zoomed in, but when you look at these weapon models zoomed out, it looks pixelated. It looks like it's been censored or pixelated. It looks really, really bad. Fine details like this just do not work for TF2. We have existing Argyle patterns in the game files that pull off this pattern pretty successfully. Let me show you an example of that right now, just so you can get a rough idea. Let me pull this up, get to the patterns folder. Patterns, there we go. Sig, Argyle. Like, if you're gonna run an Argyle pattern, you know, you don't want to have fine details like this that, you know, that break it up. Because it'll make it look pixelated. And this genuinely looks pixelated when you zoom out. Look at that. Like, if this was just like normal TF2 textures with like the Paintable gradients and such, it would be perfect. But the knitting ruins it. And I don't think it's necessary. This is also very old. Like, back when war paints were first introduced. Jesus. Well, I mean, considering most other stuff I've seen on the workshop, not bad. I've seen this set already before as well. I don't like the green. I'm pretty sure I said that last time, and I'll say it again. I don't like the green. It's a little bit too bright. Also, there has to be a paint region on this. Why wouldn't there be a paint region? Of course, it's also paintable, and this already has a lot of small details, and then when you add another accentuating detail in the form of a small paint region like this on various parts over the weapon, over the model, it makes the entire thing too busy. Like, I like the camo a lot. I wish they didn't use green. I wish they had used, like, gray or something that's like a darker team color. I think that would have looked a lot nicer than just going for straight military green. I just don't think it looks very good. I think they should use a different color, and the paint region does it no favors. So. Wow! Okay. Well. Did I already finish that playlist? Goddamn. Yeah. So, oof. I see what they did here. It looks like they took the existing... No, is that the existing Dazzle pattern in the game files? It might be. Let me see. Let me see. That was in... Was it Powerhouse? No, it was in the camos. Dazzle. No, it's not the one that's in the game files, so it looks like they made another, which is fine. It's too much, man. You have two incredibly busy textures juxtaposed against each other, and it looks really bad. Like, if you had just gone black and white with a solid team color, or this with solid black, then it would be fine. But you have two busy textures slapped against each other, and it's just way, way too noisy. Pick one or the other, and then stick with it. Personally, I like this texture more, because it's a better geometrical teams, where the colors are a little bit more washed out, more kind of in line with TF2's pastel-y style, and I don't think a Dazzle pattern like the black and white one, and like the one that they experimented with in the game files, will ever work for TF2, because there's no way to make this not look like an eyesore. It hurts your eyes. So I think you have definitely something good going on here with this geometric pattern. Play off of this more and then come back with a different texture to replace the Dazzle one, and then make that an entirely new war paint, because the Dazzle just, I don't think it'll work for the game. Looks like ice cream. Kind of. Kind of does. Kind of does look like ice cream, doesn't it? Whoa, that is a lot. No, 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 oh, no. Oh, Christ. Well, it's a bit much. I like the pants. It looks okay-ish, but... yeah. Why are you like, oh, it's just for Nazis? But like, if it wasn't obvious, Medic was probably working for Nazi Germany. I mean, that's like a joke in the game. And that's why people make Nazi loadouts. Haha, German Medic. In like, you know, pre-1970s thing. It's not a Nazi thing. It's like anyone sees Medic, oh, it's a Nazi thing. Ah, I'm saying the forbidden N-word too much. This video is gonna get age restricted. I didn't like it. I think I've looked at this one before, but I don't recall. Wealthy Warrior. It's not bad. I think it's fine, but apparently it's outdated. Did they do a more... There's no more recent version. It's not bad. I think it needs something. Like, this is really fuzzy. Like, that's really that... Ooh, yeah, what happened here? This is really fuzzy. You gotta work on the scaling of your image here to fix that. I like the gold. I like the metal. I'm not a fan of the brown. I think you could incorporate something else. Like, and I would scale this up. Like, the painterly patches here are too small. Blow that up a little bit more. Blend them a little bit. Then it'd be better. It's okay. Like, the colors are fine, but the texture work needs a bit more work. Like... Yeah, scale this up. Not sure what you can do with here. Not sure what you can do with the brown. You could also incorporate some of that, too, like the painterly gradient stuff into here as well. Or maybe swap the positions of these. Like, swap the position of the gray with the copper. Or the brown metal rust, I guess. No, I love the color palette, too. But apparently because this is now outdated, he's apparently reworking it. So I'm curious to see where he goes with it. And I will reserve my comments on it until then. I have looked at this one before, not going to go over it again. I've also looked at this one before, not going to go over it again. I keep forgetting to leave ratings. Bit too saturated, a bit too noisy, bit too shiny. Gonna say no to this one. Did I look at this one before? I don't remember if I did. So, this one also suffers from that same thing where you're having, like, this embossed etching style, which just does not blend very well with TF2. I've said this before about a couple of other war paints that Aiden has made. Like it was like this one too, this Westbourne one. It looks really good, but this embossed style just does, and where it's like 3D and has that 3D depth, does not, it doesn't match TF2 style, because TF2, everything looks like it's been painted and washed out and not like really sharp, detailed in 3D. So the texture work itself is not very compatible with the game. The color palette is fucking phenomenal. He's also at the mercy of random scaling, because on larger weapon models like the Panic Attack and then the Tomislav here, and also this one here, the Soda Popper, that looks good. But on the SMG, it gets scaled down too much, and it just looks too busy and then squished together. Yeah, that's just the unfortunate part about the Warpaint system. Like, if it was scaled up on, like, other weapon models, like the Wrench and the Skull Cutter here, it'd look a lot better. I do like this one a lot more than his Westbourne one, because it's less of that 3D thing, because it's not like layers of these embossed lines on top of each other. But, I'll still say yeah. This is an ancient fan favorite, Vintage Vibrance. I like it. This is how you handle bright colors for a war paint. A little bit is fine. A little bit's okay. They should be an accentuating element and not the entire composition, right? If you're going to use a bright color like this, you need the rest of the war paint to be fleshed out and filled out with neutral or subtle pastel team tones to kind of keep it rooted in the game's style, right? And then you get, you know, little splashes of this color. It doesn't take over the entire weapon model. Unfortunately, given the nature of random orientation, it's gonna look bad on most. Like, it looks awesome here on the detonator. Shotgun doesn't look bad too, but because you have big open areas of just nothing, you're gonna get some random seeds that look pretty shit. But I wouldn't be offended if this one was in game. Honestly, I like it. It's pretty good. Very, very 70s indeed. Very 70s indeed. I like it. I'll say yes to this one. I don't know why I haven't said yes to it yet. The worst map you've ever played. Did they put this? Like, I've played this before. I think I've played this before. I have played this before. I played this on our server. And this is just a god-awful mishmash of, like, a bunch of different shit from different maps. What the fuck? Ah! If you ever get a chance to play on this map, it's utter fucking chaos, and it's so big. It's so big. I've looked at this one before. I've also looked at this one before. I don't like it because the texture work is really not stylized for TF2. It looks way too photorealistic. It looks like these look like Fallout textures. These look like Fallout textures, and it's just not rooted in TF2 style. Colors are fine, but it's really not appropriate for a TF2 skin. Saw that one already. Facepalm. Is a facepalm out of exasperation appropriate for the game? I would say yeah. I think I voted yes for this one. How polished is it? I don't remember how polished this one is. Do we get to see the animation?
I did what I could.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's actually a taunt, too. Yeah, this fits. It's a taunt. It's not an emote. It's a genuine taunt. I like it. Adding insult to injury. Ooh. Can I have... Where's my music? There we go. Yeah, so... The colors are fine, but the textures need a lot of work. You gotta add some texture to this white texture. You need like some wood or some concrete details on there. That painterly style, you really gotta incorporate it, and you gotta incorporate that into here, because you got big open patches of just stuff, you know? The circle texture, the detail, like, you have too many, they're too spaced out. You need something more seamless. Like, I'm gonna go back to Pamp, because Pamp always makes fucking amazing war paints. Can I just search his name? Of course not. Fuck. I have to go dig into my favorites to find a war paint that does, like even this one kind of handles that a lot better. Like, this one's noisy, but it handles, like, that repeating circle idea a whole lot better than just little random circles placed over a solid color. Let me find the one I'm thinking of, because it's from a collection of skins that he did. Where is it? Where is it? Give me something made by Pamp. Probably already passed one. Not even paying attention. Running out of gas. Where? I'm probably going... hello? Hello? There you are. This collection. This is the collection I'm thinking of. Give me this. And I'm thinking of this one. So this one handles the random circle element really well, because there are two sizes, and there's an accentuating element that ties the whole texture together with that stripe cutting across it. So it really fills out that main texture, and you don't get a lot of empty gaps. And also notice how he handled his white texture, his secondary. The secondary has that painterly TF2 style, and it's more muted, so it helps break it up, right? It looks like it's an actual textured, worn-out minigun, and it looks quite good. Same thing for the background color on this texture as well. So if that guy on his incorporated those details onto his war paint, be a lot better. So, looks like my profile background, like you mean on Steam? Yeah, it does. Funny. There you go. So yeah. Ooh, it's a little big. It's kind of ugly. It's kind of ugly. And it's fully painted. No. I'm gonna say no. Hey, a golf shirt for Demo. Fuck it, why not? We already have other golf attire for Demoman. Why not give him a golf shirt? And the gloves are weird. Oh, no, never mind. No, we don't need paintable hands. That looks fucking ugly. That's gonna be so ugly. Why? Why? And of course they play it safe, like, oh, hey, let's use, like, the safe team-colored paints, but no, you know everyone's gonna make them lime green and pink. No. No. Why? They don't need to be paintable! Stop it! Not everything needs to be paintable! Can I get to the actual taunt, please? This is an emote. No thanks. I don't want emotes. Goodbye. The Great Wear instead of Great War. Clever. Very clever. I mean, we already have, like, the proof of purchase, so this is playing on that. Doesn't look bad. I like it. I like the the visor that's added to it as well. That looks quite nice. I like Style 1 more than Style 2. The cloth version I'm not a fan of, but this version I do like. That looks nice. Rigged to the helmet bone, so I guess when he taunts and such, it bounces up and down. That's quite nice. What about the coat? I assume this is the full set. The shirt looks weird. The shirt looks weird. That looks odd. It's like, these look really... It looks textured and not modeled. This is like half-baked. Looks unfinished. Like, conceptually it's fine, but it's like way too sharp. Everything's too sharp and too rigid and too polygonal. Like, it's not smooth enough. Yeah, the shirt definitely needs more polish in the modeling department and definitely the texture department. The helmet is fine, but the shirt definitely needs some TLC. So I will say yes, the helmet, but not the... Actually, no, I don't like the cloth one. But I like the metal style. But I have no choice on styles because Valve just chucks them in the game anyway. Color incorporated. The Doughboy hat. That's right. Doughboy. Doughboy. Yes. This one is interesting. I'm okay with this initially. I don't... The paint and drips are completely unnecessary. You can get rid of them. Yeah, you don't need the paint drips, but keep, like, this outline around the sticker, but get rid of the paint drips. And then this war paint is totally fine. Done. Easy. Like, remove the paint drips, then the war paint is totally fine. Remove the paint drips on the sticker, keep the white outline, then the war paint is totally fine. Done. Easy. That's it. I like it. It looks good. The wood is nice. The tile, like, it's like wood on wood, but the colors mesh nicely. I like this. The sticker looks odd on the knife. But then again, you're kind of at the mercy of whatever you're doing for stickers, so... I don't know. See, it looks nice. You know, it's based off of stuff in the game. This is quaint. I'll still say yes to it anyway, but I really don't think you should have the paint drips on there. I'm too tired. No, I already said no to this one. Ugh. Okay. I am now going to go to the most recent link and look at that one. And that will be the last one I do. Because I'm getting tired. I've been going for... How long have I been recording for? 2 hours and 16 minutes of non-stop talking. Maybe I'll do a few more. Maybe let me grab a few more. Just grab some random shit here. God almighty. Already saw that one. Saw it twice. Why do people keep posting the same shit? Alright, we'll Convoy Classic. Alright, we'll go through these last few. I'm not a fan. This looks weird. It changes. So here's the thing, right? I think I've figured out why I don't like cosmetic sets that completely change a class, because it removes too much of the default coloring and it looks really out of place. Because a lot of older cosmetics and the default player models are what most people are used to. They're used to seeing certain colors in certain places. And when you replace a lot of that with something different, it looks really odd. And seeing an engineer fully colored like this is really jarring because the engineer rarely looks like this. This isn't the engineer anymore. You've now made a completely different character. That's why I don't like item sets like this. And also, like, this plaid texture looks really gross. Like, the solid looks better, but, and of course, this is also, is this paintable? This better not be fucking paintable. If it is, I'm gonna shit myself. I cannot also, like, then you have, like, a slacks variant? Yeah, this changes way, this is way too much. Way too much change. You can't go this far with item creation. I made a video about this on my second channel. It's going too far with item creation where it's no longer the class anymore. So you need someone to filter out meme items you already saw. I mean, it's actually impossible to filter out everything that I've already seen. And also meme items. If it's something I've seen or if it's a meme, I'll just skip over it. And most of the, and I haven't wasted that much time. Come to think of it. It's a bit much, honestly. It's a bit much. Yeah, it's oops all blue, and it also is it using all the same texture? Is there no secondary to this? Yeah, there's no. Is this the secondary? I can't tell. It looks like there's a secondary texture being used. It needs more to break it up. Like, this primary texture is taking over way too much, and the whole thing wearing to blue or red, it's metallic, so that's kind of cool, but it really needs a solid color to help break up the busyness. Like, if this secondary texture here was just the solid gray, then I would like this a whole lot more. Like, and also this jagged embossed edge looks really bad because, again, this goes back to like the embossed edging or like the etched details that look really unfitting for TF2 style. Also, a lot of weird little details here. This is funky. Yeah, it's there's something weird going on here. Like, this looks weird. I don't like this. Is this Braille? Looks like Braille. I'd like to see the whole textures on this. I'm not a fan of it. What else does this guy make? We all start somewhere, I guess. I mean, very CSGO, but not for TF2. Ancient. I mean, I could see this working as like a new item for the engineer. I don't know what the stats would be, but it's cool. I think this is fine. I dig this. Sure, why not? Robin Hood? Is this a reference to something? Scavenger Hunter? Maybe not. It only paints the eyes, which is totally fine. That looks cool. Yeah, it's okay. I like the head. The head's fine. The hood... and yes, I will downvote things entirely because of the paint region. I'm sorry. Seen that before. Driver's dungarees. See, like, this one changes a lot on the engineer, but it largely preserves the colors you expect to see on the player model. These types of changes are fine. This is okay. These are the types of liberties that you should take with the engineer, and not completely changing what you would expect to see in terms of where colors belong on the player model, right? It doesn't go too far. I like this. This is good. And only the handkerchief is paintable. Also a win in my book. I will say yes to this item. Unfortunately, ancient, and we'll never see it in-game. Holy God. Oh, fuck. Well, no. That's all I have to say. And also, funny meme item, haha, sausage fest, penises, and what have you. No. Okay, I'm very tired. I have to call it there. I apparently have many trade offers that for things. Warning. Okay, so that is that. So this is your, yes, that is your panic attack. I will give that to you. So I will give that back to you. There you go. I have to confirm that. clear out all these phone notifications. So thank you guys for joining another workshop stream. I'm going to close it off there. Thanks for chilling. We're going to hang out for a few more minutes as we wind things down. But this is where I'm going to stop the recording.